Thank you. I just mentioned what happened. You want to check? Oh yeah. Well, I've done it already. Forward me to.
Good morning, guys and girls. My name is Lehle Balde, and I will be your moderator for this exciting event. While we wait for everyone to join, I'd like to ask everybody to please put into the chat box where you're tuning in from, whether you're coming from Lagos, Kaduna, Kano, Owerri, Anambra. We want to know where you're coming from. So please make sure that you put that inside the chat box right now so that we can recognize the people that are here. Okay, so I see Abuja, Delta, Port Harcourt, Owerri, Lagos. This is amazing. Anambra, wow, London, Edo, whoa. I'm super excited today because we have people from all over the place quite clearly. And obviously everybody is excited because we all want to win. So allow me to welcome you to the 4th edition of the Stanbic IBTC Youth Leadership Series. And this year the theme is winning. And essentially our goal is to educate the youth on different opportunities across various sectors. This event was specifically designed to empower young Nigerians to become future business leaders. And as the saying goes, together we all win. YLS will witness the gathering of renowned and knowledgeable business leaders in the social media and tech spaces that will share insights and practical tips on achieving set goals and objectives. While we wait for other attendees to join, we're going to play a really fun game called the scavenger hunt. So I'm going to run you through the rules of the game, and then a video will play. So essentially, some items will be listed, and thereafter, videos will be played. And you are to find the items listed out in these videos. Each video has a title, and once you find an item in a video, send your answers to the private chat box, not the group chat box, but the private chat box, detailing the item found and the video where it was found. For example, we'll play a video and let's say there's a train in the video. So what you have to do is you have to say, train is in the Switch Gang video. We have amazing prizes for our winners, cash prizes, data prizes. So without any further ado, I would like to invite Stanbic to please kindly play the scavenger hunt video. So look out for specific words and specific things in these videos, and ensure that you put what you see in the videos in the private chat box. So over to Stanbic to please kindly play the videos. Thank you very much, and we will get started very shortly. So Stanbic, over to you to play the video with audio. So if you look on your screens, you'll see that there's a video being played. There's a video being played or it's about to start playing, and you have to look out for the different words that are basically part of the scavenger hunt. So apologies, right now, what you're looking at is the items in the video. So wire, mug, wall clock, air conditioner, pens, and printer. And the video will start shortly. So apologies for that. We're gonna get that going as soon as possible. So please definitely take a look at the words on the video: wire, mug, wall clock, air conditioner, pens, and printer. And please look out for these in the video that is about to start playing. Thank you. Apologies, we see your messages in the chat. We're just waiting for the technical team to play the video. So kindly bear with us and just get ready to have a great time today, and look out for those keywords that you see up on the screen. So it shouldn't be longer than 2 minutes. So apologies, and thank you for your patience. So if you look on your screens now, the video is playing. So please look out for those words that we put on the screen.
Set I want.
Stanbic IBTC
Set
gang.
I want.
Okay, happen to life gang.
Set I want.
Set I want your pension of Lagos. You know me, who gang? You are moving to the switch gang. It can be with the switch gang. Right now you are moving to the switch gang. This gang is the switch gang. Switch now, make you check them. Your pension go sure, make I no lie. Cause Stanbic IBTC if you want try. Transfer with the show, so no door. How you go come no if you no try? No confirm account with the no sign. Pension manager we go show you that. Set I want gang. Retire well gang. Pension secure gang. Just switch gang. Set I want Stanbic IBTC gang. Transfer window gang. Happen to life gang. One pension manager gang. Join the switch gang today.
Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Meet Sammy. She's 25, a smart business professional and a go-getter, assertive, update on trends and knows what she wants. She's street smart, yet classy. She's that typical Naija babe on a mission to greatness. You can say she's woke. And here comes Easy. He's 27. He's also a business professional. He's friendly, the life of the party. He's got that Naija hustler spirit. Some say he's impulsive and spontaneous and would rather take shortcuts. Like his name, he likes to take things easy. You see, Sammy and Easy are best of friends and are completely inseparable. But before this bond was formed, 2 years ago, both of them worked at the same firm as colleagues, where they never got along. Easy was just too laid back and too playful for Sammy, who was stern and set in her ways. Both would argue and disagree on almost everything, until they were paired to work on the same project. Now this was a battle for these two. Sammy and Easy could never agree on the work process, but eventually their team came up tops amongst the others, but both have remained close, supporting and cheering each other on. Catch the adventures of Sammy and Easy here.
Sammy, do you remember that my friend?
Who?
Chike.
The photographer?
Yes, exactly, him.
Yeah.
You won't believe what happened to him last week. Oh my. He had a late night photo shoot. On leaving the photo shoot location, boom, he got robbed by some area boys. They took his phones, his cameras, lenses, his laptop, everything.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Those cameras and lenses are so expensive. Jeez. They literally took away his livelihood.
You would think so. But apparently he had insured everything. His gadgets, work tools, and even his car.
You can insure your personal belongings.
Apparently so. His insurance brokers had advised him on this. Just on time.
Get sound insurance advice from our professionals and stay updated with competitive insurance quotes.
Sammy, wait. How am I really turning 27 next week? This whole thing feels like a dream.
I mean, wasn't it just like yesterday we graduated from uni and now Amaka is married with 2 kids? Mike is having his 3rd kid.
I feel so unprepared about life and this whole thing called adulting. You know what's the worst? I've been planning to travel abroad for my master's for like 3 years now. But man, there's no funds.
Easy. What do you mean you don't have funds? How? You're a manager now.
See, babe, that's a story for another day. See, I'm totally freaking out about my future here. Will things ever get certain and clearer? I mean, seriously, will I ever be able to get all the funds I need to invest enough, save enough, to retire at the age of 40 like we all planned? Oh, God.
Okay, easy. You have to calm down. Breathe. This sounds like an early life crisis. I think things will work out just fine. For starters, you have a good job. Shebi, we have pensions accounts. And we're even doing more by putting out voluntary contributions monthly.
Oh, yeah, that. I totally forgot about this.
You see, at least you're making solid plans for your longest holiday. So, cheers to a freer and more fulfilling post-active work life full of endless possibilities.
Phew, I'm completely relieved. Project Retire at 40 continues.
Start planning for your future today with Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers. Join over 1.8 million users who are planning their future right with Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers. For more information, visit www.stanbicibtcpension.com or send an email to pensionsolution@stanbicibtc.com. You may also call 01-271-6000 or visit any Stanbic IBTC Bank branch in Nigeria.
Well, thank you very much for those amazing videos. We hope that you guys enjoyed that scavenger hunt. So please, I know that I've seen all the responses, and you will be credited with either cash or data, and that will be figured out from the back end. We hope that you guys enjoyed that scavenger hunt. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce a man by the name of Dr. Demola Shogunle, who is the Chief Executive Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, who's going to give the welcome address. But before he gives the welcome address, I'd like to tell you a little bit about him. So Dr. Demola Shogunle previously served as the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Bank PLC, as the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, and as the Head of Treasury, amongst other roles in the Stanbic IBTC Group. Dr. Shogunle holds a first-class honors degree in agricultural science and a PhD in land resource evaluation management, both from the University of Ibadan in Nigeria. He is an alumnus of the Harvard Business School, AMP, and also holds an MBA in the banking and finance from the ESUT Business School, Nigeria, and a Treasury Dealership Certificate from the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. He is also a member of the Global Association of Risk Professionals. So please allow me to introduce Dr. Demola Shogunle, who will give the welcome address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and I will say our valued and highly cherished youth who are joining us from every part of Nigeria and the world. You know, I've seen Dubai, I've seen UK, I've seen US, you know, very interesting. It is with great pleasure and super excitement that I welcome you to the 2021 edition of the Youth Leadership Series. In 2018, the YLX was actually fashioned out deliberately, and I mean deliberately. We fashioned it out as an avenue to engage and to empower young Nigerians to become future business leaders. 4 years down the line, we are still committed to the vision with every subsequent edition, surpassing the achievements of the previous. I'm confident that this year's program will be super beneficial to everyone present at this virtual edition. According to statistics, youth make up over 50% of Nigeria's population. Therefore, as a nation, we should accord priority to harness their potentials and accelerate the country's economic growth. The Nigerian youth require support, guidance, and empowerment to propel them to the pinnacle of their various fields. The innovative projects and tech disruptions championed by the youth in virtually every sector of the economy are proof of their ingenuity, skill, brilliance, and resourcefulness. At Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, we believe in breaking boundaries. Hence, our tagline, "It can be," which is hinged upon the premise that everything is possible as long as we are dedicated, as long as we are committed, and we are able to put in the requisite effort to make it work. The theme of this year's edition of the Youth Leadership Series is winning, and it promises to be very exciting. It is specifically designed to edge a winning mentality in the attendees and also empower them to become future business leaders. We are going to have 3 exciting and engaging breakout sessions. Number 1, winning with entrepreneurship. The second one, winning with social media. And the third, winning with investment. Our carefully selected and curated speakers will be sharing their experiences. They will be sharing their expertise at the various sessions for you all to learn from. Let me at this point thank the panelists who have taken the time from their very, very tight, busy schedules to speak to us today. I urge every one of you to pay close attention to the discussions and try as much as possible to gain knowledge as the speakers share from their wealth of experience. They've got a lot of experiential background, and that is very, very key. Please, I encourage you to learn and to gain and to glean something from them. Our corporate social investment initiatives at Stanbic IBTC are hinged on 3 pillars. Number 1 is health. Number 2 is economic empowerment. And the third one is education. The Youth Leadership Series rests on our economic empowerment and education pillars. Other youth interventionist initiatives worthy of mention, at this forum, are our university scholarship scheme and Together for a Limb. Together for a Limb is our flagship CSI initiative. And it's important to mention here that 88 students who gain admission into several tertiary institutions across the country are already benefiting from our university scholarship scheme. We are talking about the current session. So as I declare the first series of the Youth Leadership Series 2020 edition open, I would like everybody to pay good attention, participate actively. I would like to reiterate that as Stanbic IBTC, our continued commitment and of unwavering support for Nigeria and its citizens, most especially the youth, is paramount to us because Nigeria is our home and we drive our growth. Thank you very much, and it can be. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that warm welcome. And without any further ado, we're going to go straight into our main plenary session. So I'd like to invite our guest, Olumide Soyombo, who is a co-founder of Blue Chip Technologies, Yanmo Omorokbe, who is the co-founder and director of growth at Bamboo, Ife Agoro, who is a blogger and the founder of Dang Network and Diary of a Niger Girl, Debo Adebayo, popularly known as Mr. Macaroni. Welcome to all our guests, and please kindly unmute yourselves. We initially had a longer time for this panel session, but we have 40 minutes. So we're going to ensure that we give the audience as much as they came here for. So essentially, I'd like us to start by talking about the motivations behind your business ideas. So in 2 minutes, please tell me what was the business drive behind your business and essentially how you identified the conviction to win. So I'm going to start with Mr. Macaroni. So please tell us about your business and tell us about how you essentially founded it and found the conviction to keep on winning. So over to you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here. Okay, so my name is Debo Adedayo. popularly known as Mr. Macaroni. You are doing well, and of course, it can be. So my business, as you all know, or for those that might not know, I'm an entertainer, right? And so let me say, for me, it was passion first before the business. So now passion has turned into business. But I think one thing for me is that the business has not actually overcome the passion. It's still passion. But now what we have been able to do, because by now we're on an entertainment outfit, so what we're able to do now is to make sure that the passion agrees with the business so that we can continue to enable the passion. Because then you need the business to keep things running, you know. So for me, yes, the passion, but the urge to always do better. And because we know to continue to keep the passion alive and to continue to dish out quality content for premium satisfaction of the audience, you need to keep your business mind open. So that has basically been the drive. The passion to do more for the people.
I like that, passion to do more. I like how you've been able to combine your passion and turn it into profit. So thank you for that.
Yes.
So Lumide, tell us about your business and kind of what drives what you do.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I run an enterprise technology company called Blue Chip Technologies, and a seed fund called Lehle Balde. And as many would know, I'm an angel investor, investing in many of the tech startups in Nigeria. Interestingly, I started Blue Chip Technologies in 2008 as an enterprise technology company, providing, like I said, software and business applications to most of the banks and telcos. But I can, thinking back to 2008 when I started, I was a 24-year-old man thinking about different opportunities.
Please, can we make sure that whoever is speaking can mute themselves? Thank you. Sorry about that, Olumide.
I'm thinking about how do I find these gaps in the market. So interestingly, and one of the key drives for me was I'd moved back, like I said, I was 24 years old, thinking about starting a new business. And the first thing coming to my head was, where am I going to start from? And luckily I was able to have a dad who gave me 5 million naira, and he took 50% of my company. So my own father took 50% of my own business to get me started. But we signed a share buyback agreement that allowed me to buy back 50% from him later on that year. But then the whole urge of someone believing in me and then coming from my family obviously pushed me to want to do more. And I think the key drive also is figuring out your why for every entrepreneur. So why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I want to be on every tech blog, or I want to be on every front of the magazine, or I want to be able to shout that, hey, I've raised this social amount. Why are you doing this? I think the first thing every entrepreneur needs to figure out is your why. My why was, I saw a big gap in the market. I saw I could empower more people. And I started doing that by, from Blue Chip, as Blue Chip grew, and in 2014, we created an SPV to start angel investing in startups. So from Blue Chip, I was able to generate enough cash and profit to start creating another SPV to empower more people who probably didn't have dads who would be able to invest in them. So we created Lehle Balde as a seed fund, and we've gone ahead to invest in many of the interesting startups in Nigeria. I was one of the first angel investors in Paystack, in Piggyverse, in Team Apt, Mono, and the like. So yeah, that's really my story. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I like that you're paying it forward and you're trying to get people to focus on their why. So Ife, I'm particularly excited to be speaking to you today because I'm definitely an avid reader of Dang. I came across your blog about a year ago and I've fallen in love with the way that you create content. So I really want to know the why behind your story, because I know that you were anonymous before. You came out last year, you revealed yourself to us last year. So tell us about your story.
Hello, everybody. It definitely can be for every one of us. So my name is Ife Dayo Agoro. I was in the oil and gas business for a very, very long time. I mean, it was a business that I did pretty well, but I never loved. You know, you can do something well and still not like it. That is what happened to me. I did not love the business, but I loved the money that the business gave me. However, when I realized that I wasn't happy, money can never be everything. It cannot be the reason I keep pushing and pushing. And, so I decided that to turn my real life and take it virtual, where I really needed to be heard. I was living in a bubble where I thought that my life was life many women had, where I can speak my mind, I can do my business without being categorized as a woman, But then when I began to get more exposed, I realized that women are actually almost second-class citizens. They cannot speak when they have to. They cannot do business freely without people saying you're with the B word, using the B word for them, or saying they are forward or they are too loud. I never experienced that so much. So when I realized it was a thing, and I used to talk about it a lot amongst my friends, I said, you know what? I'm going to take this virtually and, open a platform where women can actually speak up, air their voice. And, from speaking from the platform, people will realize that they actually can have a voice and their voice is important. So the first reason Diary of a Niger Girl was created in the first place was for my voice to be heard so that other people can see that they also can speak up, which has been amazing. It's been in fact, it's the best decision I've made in my entire life to open that platform and speak up so that other people can speak as well. So as we continue to run the platform, I don't call it a blog because it's more of a community for me, where it's not just my voice that is being put out there. I introduce and invite other women as well, and men alike who are interested in making, in joining us and letting women's voice be heard. We invite them to speak and for their voice to be heard as well. So that for the first year or two, it was quite slow, but we kept going. My intention, like Olumide said, what is your why? Why are you doing this? If you understand that, it's hard for you to be derailed. So because we didn't have so much followership and attention wasn't really on us, I didn't give up. We just kept going, and now it's really great. So from Diary of a Niger Girl, I created the company called Dang Lifestyle, where we sell affordable luxury products for different kinds of lifestyle that you have. And the reason for that also was I realized that women like to take care of themselves. Many of them cannot afford to. Little things like just spray your house and it smells nice, go home to a nice smelling home and all of that. So we created that for the purpose that women who love luxury should be able to afford it.
Perfect. I love that. Essentially just serving women at every aspect of the value chain. So that's Absolutely. Really wonderful. So Yanmo, are you with us? Just wanted to make sure that you're there. Yanmo from Bamboo Invest. Okay, I think she will probably join us shortly. So thank you all for sharing, kind of the why behind your businesses and kind of telling us how you essentially set it up. I can see all the comment section, in the comment section. Please keep them going. While we're speaking about, how amazing these businesses are, we all know that with business comes a lot of challenges, right? So one of the things that I want us to discuss today is essentially share, one challenging example from your experience. And essentially it can be about funding, setting up your business, and essentially how were you able to navigate that particular challenge that you faced in your business? So Mr. Macaroni, I will leave the floor to you. So talk to us about a challenge that you had within your business and how you overcame it.
Okay, thank you. So for me, quite a number of challenges. And, that's why I spoke about passion first. Passion first it has to be passion first. And this is because it is very easy for you to quit when things are not going right, or when things are not going your way, because you're tired, you're simply tired. So if it's just about business, if the business is not going the way you want it to go, you give up almost immediately because you're not getting returns or you're not getting those things that you have expected to get. But what keeps you? The passion keeps you. So I've been acting since of course, since I was very young. But then if you're talking about professional acting, I've been doing professional acting since I think 2011, 2010, thereabout. And this is me just, since I was born, since I don't get sense, Sha, I've always known that I want to be a performer. I want to be a performer. I'm very expressive. I want to express myself. I want to mimic people. I want to act like this person, act like that person. So it's always been about performance for me. So this is me doing that and enjoying it. So it got to a point, I mean, after all the schools I went to and after taking up acting professionally, it now got to a point where I wanted more visibility. I want people to see me. I want people to see my craft and see me for the talents that I am. So I want people to say, we saw this movie. Oh, we saw that. I think it was beautiful. Well done. So that time now, because acting, artists want their art, their work of art to be seen and to be appreciated. It could be criticized, but of course, we just want it to be seen. Okay. So one of the major challenges for me, as at that time, now we're talking about business and passion. Like I said, the two come hand in hand. So this is me thinking, okay, for me to start to get that recognition, this recognition, that recognition, people need to know who Mr. Macaroni is. Who is Mr. Macaroni? And for your information, I've always been Mr. Macaroni, like for a while, being that name, So major challenge, how do we get your face out there? Not that I wasn't appearing in a number of movies or, but, extra, roles of extra. Okay, you are the boy that is selling akara. Just say that, buy akara and run away. That's how the director will tell you. Or just go there, do like this, and go. So, all those funny roles. You understand? So then fast forward to 2019. 2019 is when the journey for content creation intentionally started for me. So what happened was I never wanted to start to do that, to do online videos, short videos, and put it up. I'm a trained theater artist, I'm a thespian, and I've always just believed in stage performances, serious movie roles. Give me a movie role. I want to be Jimmy. I want to be there's a Washington. I want to play those roles, and people must see me and they must say, this guy is a good actor. But the truth is, there's a Washington did not start just one day. Neither did Jimmy. So it was a gradual process, and their passion kept them, and they kept on. They continued to build it. So the patience, not getting those things that you want to get is always there. When you start up your business, it won't go as expected, and that's the truth. So you need the patience. You need to make sacrifices. So I was sacrificing the little money I had, small change that I was getting into production. I said, okay, if I would start filming this short content, I can't use my phone. Some people use their phones and it comes out very good. But like I said, I've been into acting as early as 2012. I'm already used to camera. I'm already used to camera movement. Oh, you go this way, you go. So to use my phone, I didn't really know how to. So I had to start to call people that, okay, you will rent, I will rent camera from, we need to shoot. So financial constraints, where am I going to get that money from? So I had to make certain sacrifices. The small change I was getting from here, getting from there, I would invest that into my productions. And then after those productions, you need the visibility. How many followers did I have? I can't, but I want more people to see it. So if more people see it, is either they like it or they don't. So, but people get to see it. So if they actually do like it, you know that your brand continues to grow. So that's where money for promotion comes in. So we start to also look for money to promote. Today not. This is how many? 100,000 for your adverts. We'll pay. It puts it there. So those were the constraints and sacrifices. Was one of the ways I was able to say, okay, since we are trying to build a brand here, why not invest in the brand? Even though it's little, you think it's just this small money I have. Just put it in the business and see how it goes. But patience is very important.
Thank you very much. So essentially patience and sacrifice. So thank you very much for that, Mr. Macaroni. Okay, so I see that our final panelist, Yanmo Omorogbe, has been able to join us. So welcome to the panel, Yanmo. It's a pleasure to have you with us. So I think I'm going to come back to you in a second, if that's okay with you. So Olumide, could you kindly tell us about a challenging experience that you have experienced and how you overcame it? And if you could do so in 2 minutes, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think the first thing to realize and understand is starting out a business is full of uncertainties and challenges, right? So, which is why I said your why is very important, because in the entrepreneurship journey, there will be many challenges and roadblocks. It's brutal, right? So it comes back to me answering on your why. For me, when I look at, so because I have a unique role of being an operator and an investor, right? So I've run a business and I've invested in people. So I have, looking at businesses, I'm able to understand what that entrepreneur is going through. So for me, starting out a business is to first know that whatever is in your business plan will most likely change. I say that the biggest work of fiction is in Excel sheets, because starting out, you never really know what you're going to end up doing. So for example, with Blue Chip Technologies, we represent many of the large software providers like Microsoft, Oracle, and the like. And what will typically happen is we would bill a client in Naira, and the client then pays us in Naira, and then we have to remit to our counterparty in dollars. And then so think about when the Naira and dollar exchange rate changes and you're left exposed. And then the client is saying, hey, I've dealt with you in Naira. I'm going to fulfill this in Naira because that's also the regulation. The partners you have have said, okay, it's dollars. My dollar pricing is not going to change. You need to pay me in dollars. And you're left with having to carry that exchange rate risk. So what we started doing was to then start building our own local solutions and our own proprietary solutions where we're in control of the currency, we're in control of the product, and we're in control of billing in Naira. So doing that and building our capabilities for us in that way was how we're able to deal with some of the FX challenges and plug those gaps. But like I said, that's on the entrepreneur side. On the investor side, looking at businesses, I've invested in several businesses that have started out with something and ended up being something else. So for example, a company I invested in called Push CV ended up being Piggyvest. Not many people know that. But so it shows you that even in the midst of challenges, you need to be able to change and pivot in light of new information. And that's what entrepreneurship is really all about.
I like that. You need to be able to change and pivot and be able to be flexible, essentially. So thank you for that. So Ife, over to you, and then Yanmo will introduce you a bit to the audience and also ask you about some challenges that you've experienced. So Ife, over to you.
Thank you. I feel like when you're starting the sort of community that I started and I'm in right now, you expect that people will contribute, people will see your vision and your intention. For me, it wasn't like that. That was my expectation. I expected that, oh, people would understand. I'm just trying to let women talk. But that wasn't what happened. I was receiving DMs, threats from husbands, boyfriends saying, you're teaching women, you are leading them astray, I will find you, I will do all of those things. And I was anonymous, so I didn't really care, like, how are you going to find me? You don't even know who I am, you know? And there were all sorts of talks about what I was doing and how it was wrong. But I realized that if I stopped at the time, I wasn't even mainstream. What we're doing was not mainstream. It wasn't like, we're not like Mr. Macaroni, somebody who consistently makes people laugh, you know. We're not like Olumide is putting money into people's lives. We were just talking. And how do we then, how do you want to stop that kind of thing where you know that if I keep talking, I may get in trouble. If I don't talk, it's bad. So what we did was we just continued to talk. It wasn't readily accepted at all. I wouldn't even lie to you. We were not also doing celebrity gossip. We were not doing celebrity story. It was just women talking and getting their lives together. So my challenge at first was all these threats that were coming towards me saying, you need to stop, you're not helping women, you're disrupting people's marriages, you're disrupting people's relationships, and all of those things. But we did not stop. I didn't stop because I had begun to see the results. People were already sending me messages as well to tell me how their lives were changing, how they were changing their businesses. And remember, our community is well-rounded. We talk about businesses, talk about our finance, talk about everything. So women were coming out to say, I did this business because you said it was possible for me. So when I saw the results, I had to continue to go through with it. Even at that, if you're a content creator, you realize that if you don't continue to push yourself, your voice will not be heard. So I had said earlier, there was really no eyeballs. People were not seeing us. And the growth was so slow. You know, like in 6 months, you have like maybe 100 followers in 6 months. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Are we doing something wrong? What I didn't realize at the time was it wasn't that we were doing something wrong. People were catching up slowly. They were catching up slowly. And we had to be patient for people to catch up and understand our intention. Let them know I'm not here to make anything bad for you. We just want to make your lives better. So my challenge was that it was slow to catch up, very, very slow. And then as soon as people caught onto it, I mean, it grew so fast and, you know, we didn't have to do much at all for people to join us and see what we're talking about. Another challenge I had was, should I say this or not? I was worried about public perception. What is the right thing to say? Should I say stuff to make people feel good or say the right thing that I know people should hear? That was a major challenge for me because I had seen the result of saying what I need, the truth from my heart. I'd seen how the backlash went all over the blogs and all of that. But I chose to speak the right thing, not what people wanted to hear. And it was difficult, but then it found, and now when I say, please speak my mind, it doesn't attract much attention in a bad way because it is now normal for me to do so. So I believe that when you consistently show up as who you are, even though it's not widely accepted, it will come to a time people will just adjust to who you are and then accept you for that. And then you can continue to make progress as you go.
Absolutely. So just be yourself and the world will adjust. And I'm very
definitely adjust. They'll definitely adjust.
Consistent with the content because I know that it helps millions of people in Nigeria. So well done. So Yanmo Omorogbe, it's a pleasure to have you. So I'm just going to do a quick intro. Yanmo is the co-founder of a company called Bamboo Invest, which allows you to invest in the US stock market from Nigeria. So Yanmo, could you please tell us about a challenge? Well, tell us a little bit about your business first. And then also please tell us about a challenging time that you've experienced and also how you overcame it. You have 3 minutes for this, so thank you.
Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me. So Bamboo allows Nigerians to invest from the US stock markets. And it's an app on your phone that lets you do this very, very simply. You can get signed up in less than 5 minutes, and within a day you can be depositing and get invested. In terms of challenges, I think what Olumide said also rings about knowing your why. So for us, we launched over a year ago, and we had to fundraise at the start, literally at the start of the pandemic. So we got into a startup accelerator called Y Combinator that most people are normally excited, super excited to get into. So you can raise money from investors, and it's sort of a build up to one day, which is demo day, where you are hoping and you know that at the same time you raise money. But for us, the pandemic hit literally a week before. Hit literally a week before, and what you realize when you're fundraising, I think something I'll say generally to a lot of investors, to a lot of would-be founders.
I'm hearing you.
Hello?
So
let me take that.
We're having a hard time.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I was saying that And so with regards to fundraising, I think one thing I will say is that for any potential founders is rejection happens a lot. So for every, big announcements you see in Tech Cabal of a company that's raised, X million dollars, they probably spoke to 100 investors and 95 said no. And only 5 people believe in you. And that can be really, really hard because you're going out every day, you're telling these supposedly seasoned professionals that, this is your business idea. And they're literally telling you, this is a terrible idea. I'm not going to give you any money, even money I think, even money I'm ready to lose. I don't want to give it to you because I think this is a waste of my time. So it's super important to, understand your why, like Olumide has said, and just persevere. Try and, talk to as many people as possible, understand your business, believe in what you're doing, and of course, also iterate. So if where possible, if you're getting a lot of rejection, it's one thing to say, constantly believe in yourself and persevere, but see if there's stuff you can change. See if there are iterations that you can make to help yourself get better, to pitch better, improving your deck, whatever business it is. See how each time you have an experience that isn't what you like, I always say failure is just a learning experience to go again. So try and learn something as you do, but that's essentially it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Agano. Essentially believing in yourself and being able to tweak as you go. So thank you very much for that. Mr. Macaroni, are you still here? Are you?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, great. So I just want to make sure that the back end, can you please make sure that you have him on the main panel? So essentially, we have only about 15 minutes left for this panel, and I know that people are going to have a lot of questions. So essentially, the way that I'd like to do this is I'd like each of our panelists to basically give us a saying or a quote that they associate with success. An example could be winning, they say, isn't equal to success. So what is the winning kind of like sentence that you'd like to leave us off with today? And then once you have about 45 seconds each to do that, and then we're gonna then take questions from the audience, because I know there's a lot of questions that people have. So please put your questions in the chat box right now. And Mr. Macaroni, I'd like you to start us off with a sentence of success that you'd like to leave the audience with. So over to you.
Okay, great. So what I always say is this: you can't stop. You shouldn't stop. Because if you don't stop, you have a shot. You have a chance at success. But if you do stop, I'm sorry, it's not a sentence. It's just what I always say to people. So, but if you do stop, then you never get a shot or a chance. So because success or the opportunity or God's blessings or however it is should not meet you doing nothing. So you have to be doing something. So that's why you need to keep pushing. You should never stop, because by then you can actually get a shot or a chance. Or if you stop, no shot, no chance.
I love that. So basically, don't stop, keep going, knock all the doors down until you get there, essentially. So thank you very much for that, Mr. Macaroni. So Ife, over to you.
I always tell my mentees this, and that's what we close with all the time, that winning does not only involve consistency, it also involves consistently adapting to change.
I love that. Thank you very much. Olumide?
Yeah, I would say winning begets winning. What do I mean by that? Successful people become more successful because they've been successful once, right? So you've gotten one chance, you've made a success out of it, or you've won, and that's why you find out that you can go ahead to even get an opportunity to be more successful. I'll use myself as an example. Because of the success of Blue Chip, people were able to trust me with money to start investing in other startups, right? So winning begets winning. So you have one shot, you need to take it very well when it comes. And if that doesn't come again, you just need to win once, bottom line. And once you do that, make sure you don't mess it up.
Winning begets winning. I like that. Thank you very much for that, Olumide. And Yanro, what would be your sentence of success?
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So try, do it, you know, if you fail at it, learn something, try it again. But the most important thing is to just try and start. And I mean, a follow-up on it, you know, the best time is now. You know, if you have an idea, if there's something, you know, you want to do, start working on it today. There's no better time.
Thank you. Essentially, so perseverance, keep going. You know, it's interesting with all these sentences, there's kind of like a theme. And it's just basically about being persistent and about just following your dreams and not giving up. So thank you very much to all our panelists for your insights and for sharing your wonderful experiences with us. So this is the part that I'm really excited about, which is the questions from the audience, because from what I can see, there's already so much learning that's happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pick random questions from the chat box. And then essentially, if you could answer in about a minute or so, so we get through as many as possible. Okay, so the first question that I see here is for Mr. Macaroni, and it comes from Akintayo Kosim. When you were struggling, what side hustle did you use to raise money for the cameraman and promotion in the beginning? So
Akintayo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Akintayo, you're doing well. Thank you. Okay, so at that time, you know, even till now, it's just that now cryptocurrency, it takes a lot of time. And, you know, of course, there's nothing you do that there's no risk. So I was basically trading in Bitcoin at that time. Although, you know, because we hear Bitcoin now, they think it's one big money. That time, trust me, money no day, you know, I was just, the little knowledge I had, because I had a lot of friends, you know, tech-wise, tech, really, I don't really know much, but I was trying my best and I was getting small change. And in all honesty, my parents too supported me, in all honesty. My parents supported, in fact, my very first production, my parents did a lot for that project. So that's how I was able to raise money at that time, investing in Bitcoin.
Okay, thank you very much.
Please, sorry, I'm very sorry. It's very important to say, if you don't know about Bitcoin, don't invest in it. My hand is not there. Do your research properly. You know, because, you know, I know people tend to take us very seriously when we say these things. So any business you want to do that has to do with you putting down money, I would advise that you really know the in total, you really know about it before going into it. So that you're not going to say it's Mr. Macaroni.
Yes, essentially. So, you know, essentially do your research before you invest in anything. I think that's quite standard practice. So thank you for that. Yeah. So the next question that I see here is, when you don't have enough money to start your business, what do you do? So I'm going to direct this question to Lehle. When someone doesn't have enough money to start their business, what do you do? And this question is coming from Charles Mark. So Lehle, what does he do if he doesn't have enough money to start his business?
I think the first thing is you need to bet on yourself, right? An investor is not going to bet on you if you're not taking a bet on yourself in the first place. So the first thing to do is to look for things within your control. At least the first thing within your control is yourself. So how am I going to develop myself and how am I going to build something? So for example, a technical co-founder might think about an idea he wants to build, an investor for funding. Most likely he's not going to raise any money because he's not taking the first step, which is to build out something and take a bet on itself. So a founder looking to raise money needs to show what he or she has done in the first step by investing in themselves before even asking anybody else to invest in them. Once an investor has seen you've moved from point A to point B, or you've taken some steps in that direction, it gives the investor more confidence in believing in you and then backing you. So the first thing is, before you ask others to invest in you, you need to invest in yourself.
Right. Sorry, I'm going to take two more questions and then we're going to go to our breakout session. So Yanmo, there's a question for you. How does one invest in Bamboo? And then Ife, there's also a question for you. How did you deal with the criticism that you dealt with Dan, your Dan community? And after that, we're all going to go into our various breakout sessions. So Yano, please go ahead and tell us how we can invest with Bamboo Invest.
So the first step is to download the app. It's on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. So if you just do a quick search for Bamboo or Invest Bamboo, you'll see us there, will come up. And download the app, get signed up. It takes less than 5 minutes to get signed up. We ask for your BVN, but we don't store your BVN. We only use that to verify your information, because when you open a Bamboo account, you're really opening a US brokerage account, right? So we just use your BVN to verify your information and open your accounts for you. And once you make a deposit, your first deposit takes 1 day to process, and you can immediately start trading and investing in the US stock market. And we give you as much information as possible to try and help you make informed trading decisions. So join our Telegram group, follow us on social media, and yes, and it's Bamboo, BAMBOO. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Yanmo. So Ife, someone had a question about how you essentially dealt with the backlash that you had.
It's the intention. When your intention is clear to you, not necessarily to everybody else, but you in your mind know why you're doing what you do. I think that backlash would shake you a little bit. I mean, you're a human, but what you must know is, why am I doing this? Is it working now? Maybe not at this time. Will it work? Yes, I need to keep, going, because at the end of the day, lives are on the line here. And if you continue to do this, and it has happened, the backlash will reduce. They may never ever stop, but they will reduce. And then I tell people about tuning off to the noise, because there will be a lot of noise, and you have to just tune off. There are two realities as humans. Remove yourself from the reality you don't want to be in. Don't put yourself in there. That reality does not exist. Only what you know and the life you live is what exists right now. So I tell people, take yourself away from the criticism, the harsh ones, the ones that come from nowhere, and just put yourself in your own reality and focus. And then, tune out the noise.
I love that. Tune out the noise. Wow. I know that, I'm the moderator here, but I feel like I'm learning so much from all of you. It's just, you're filled with so much wisdom about entrepreneurship and just, so many other things. So I know that our audience members are really enjoying what you're saying. So we've actually come to the end of our wonderful panel. So I'd like to thank our speakers, Ife, Agoro, Yanmo Omorogbe, Debo Adebayo, aka Mr. Macaroni, and Olumide Soyombo for being such wonderful panelists and for really sharing their expertise with us. This panel is obviously brought to you by Stanbic IBTC Bank. And I know that we have some amazing breakout sessions coming up. So the first one is winning with investments. The second is winning with social media. And the third is winning with entrepreneurship. So the way that you will go into your breakout sessions is that you will, Stanbic IBTC Bank is about to share some links. So please click the link that basically corresponds with the breakout session that you'd like to have. So let's clap for our winners, even if it's a virtual, sorry, if not our winners, but our speakers, even if it's a virtual clap. This has been a really eye-opening session. And I really hope that everybody that's been here has been taking notes and is really going to take these steps forward. So this is not the end. Definitely wait for the breakout sessions. And yes, so my name is Lehle Balde, and it's been a pleasure moderating this plenary session. And I'd like to thank Stanbic IBTC Bank for allowing me to walk you through this first half of the event. And you can find me on the breakout session about investments. So thank you. And please look out for the links that will then take you to the breakout sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lehle. I think you are a great moderator, and I think you did extremely well. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So the links are being posted onto the chat group right now. So please make sure that you pick the one that you'd like to go on. Yeah, so if you look on the chat box right now, you'll see the different links. So, we want to make sure that you're clicking the right one. So birthing and, nurturing a business in Nigeria. Yeah. So Ministry of Trade is also up, so you can click that if you'd like to go there. Yeah, so I'm seeing all the comments. Just if you look at the chat box, you'll be able to see the various links. Yeah, ideally we would. And also the speakers that are in the corresponding sessions, please click the link so that you can take yourself to that session. Thank you. So for those of you asking about the link for winning on social media, you please stay in this session if you'd like to participate in that. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can stay in this session because this is where it will hold. Thank you.
That's why it's good to ask questions. I was also looking for it myself. And I wanted to ask, it's something said, but just ask now. It's not going to kill you.
Ask questions is important. It's key.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's another lesson for us. So I mean, never be too shy to ask questions.
Exactly. So that social media one is happening here. And anybody else, please pick the other one.
Lehle, can you share other links for entrepreneurship and in the chat room?
Okay, let me work on that. 1 second.
I got locked out and come back.
Yeah, so I think some people are still asking for the link to winning with social media, and I think Lehle already said it's happening here.
Okay,
so that's why we're here.
An announcement again for those of you that didn't hear. So for winning on social media, kindly stay where you are. And if you are looking to go to birthing and nurturing a business in Nigeria, winning with entrepreneurship, the link is right on the comment section right now, as well as winning with investment. It was just posted 1 minute ago. So again, if you want to learn about social media, please stay where you are. I'm actually moderating the investment one, so I'm going to log off now, if that's fine. But if anybody else asks, please let them know that they need to stay here for social media. And everything else is in the chat box. So if that's okay, I'm gonna log off to go to my next moderation.
Thank you, Lehle.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lehle. Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome to the Winning with Social Media breakout room for the Youth Leadership Series by Stanbic IBTC. My name is Shari, and thank you, Ife. Thank you, Mr. Macaroni. Mr. Macaroni, are you there? I can't seem to
I'm here. You're doing well.
All right, welcome, everyone. I mean, it's been great listening to you over the other panel. And again, I would say that, I mean, one of the reasons why I'm actually here today, is because I'm, great with the use of social media. I'm actually a Stanbic staff. I have a fully functional, active 8-to-5 job with, Stanbic IBTC. However, I also run a side hustle, which is called Aspiring Fit Farm. It's an online community of fitness enthusiasts, and I also run an online sporting retail goods company. Yeah, so, to start, my very first question really would, go towards if seeing as, I mean, I'll be moderating the session, by the way, because it's really just the three of us. So let's just if you don't mind, and hopefully they can learn, a lot from that as well. So, starting with sorry?
I said, I like to gist.
I know, right? It's your MO. So starting with you, I know that you pivoted from, it's a very successful 8-to-5 job, even though you were unhappy. I'd really just like you to, say, a few things about how you can successfully pivot, into running your own, social media business, as you were. So could you please just take us through that process? And at the beginning, did you actually envisage that, the Dan community could be as impactful as it currently is?
Thank you. I looked through your page as well. We'll just about that later. So, so I mean, it wasn't something that I did without planning. And this is what I tell people all the time. You aspire to perspire, motivators will tell you, go for your passion, do it, I'm afraid. But you cannot, this is real life. Real life is that very many people will not live their dreams initially. And I knew that. I knew that if I needed to leave oil and gas, because I was used to living well, I was used to traveling when I wanted to live that life as well. I didn't want to start a community where I would do things based on my need for money. I wanted to do things based on my need to speak the truth or my truth. So that time, what I did was, I knew I was going to leave. So 2 years from when I knew, I started saving aggressively. And that's what I would call it. I mean, I would travel sometimes 4 times a year or more. I cut it down to 2 times a year. I started saving, I started investing, because I did not want money to be my motivation for starting Diary of a Niger Girl. And I wanted to be able to tell people no. If they brought something to me that did not align with my values, I needed to be able to say no. Because the truth about it is that poverty allows for a lot of derailment. When you are poor, you don't have money, you will take what you can get. I cannot blame people for that, because at the end of the day, man must chop, right? But I didn't want that for myself. I wanted to be able to say no to what I wanted to say no to. I didn't want to have to take what was available to me. So I saved really, really well. At the time when I was going to transition, that's what I call it, I started reading on storytelling, because I like to write. I'm a storyteller. I started reading on how to captivate virtual audience by storytelling. So while I knew what I was going to do, I didn't just wake up one day, got angry with the whole business and left. I did not do that. I planned, I did my research, I read a whole lot of articles. In fact, while I was waiting, I wrote to Linda Ikeji and said, oh, Linda, your blog is all about gossip. Can I infuse some value? Can I talk about women and the things that are important to women? And I didn't get a response. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Then I wrote to another popular Genevieve magazine. I said, I would like to write for you. I didn't get a response. I was like, okay. But what I did was I just kept going. Like, I know I want to do this, but I still want to make some money. So like I said, I planned, I saved. I didn't jump. I did not get upset. I was upset, but I did not get emotional about it and say, oh, I'm going now, I'm leaving now. I didn't do that. I made sure to save enough that in 2 years, if I did not do any job at all, I would be okay. And that was our transition into that.
Amazing. And you just say, I don't want to work for anybody. They will just go straight into entrepreneurship straight. Yes. And it's actually inspiring to hear that. Yeah, a lot of people say, I want to be the boss of me, but one of the things that I've also learned on my journey is that it's also essential to sort of work in a structured organization, and it would also give you the required discipline that you need. And it's very that thing you said about planning, through saving and investing is also very, very key. So thank you very much for sharing that. Okay, so moving over to Mr. Macaroni. Are you still there?
You are doing well. You are doing well.
All right, Mr. Macaroni. See, you've been giving us back to back, hits on, different issues. And, one of the things that I actually admire about you is like, once something comes up, it's a social issue that needs to, be addressed. The next day, Mr. Macaroni is on the street, shooting a video, and all of the things that you also put out, they are very educative. You can draw a lot of value from there. Even our parents, they know you in your very, very not hard to miss regalia, So I want you to, talk to us a little bit about the creativity aspect. Do you think that creativity can be learned, or is it inborn? And then also, help me talk about that consistency bit as well, because it can be easy to start, but being consistent can be a bit difficult.
So, talking about creativity, I like to say that for the artist, right? Everything that the artist needs, the basic raw materials the artists need to process their craft and to bring it to reality is around us, is society. We draw our materials from everything that happens in our society. So you're giving birth to, you grow old, and then there's some certain things that you've seen or that you've witnessed. There's some certain things that you are seeing that's in the present. And there are some things that you can imagine would happen in the nearest future by virtue of those things that you have seen happen already. So about being creative, about learning creativity, I don't know. I think it's around us. So it's just about, this our head. They used to say that we don't use how many, maybe we're just using one small percentage or something of the actual amount that we can use. So I think it's just for a creative, it's just for you to open your eyes, open your ears, go to places. Go in this Lagos alone, there are 1,000,001 contents in your space, where in your house there are thousands of contents to generate from there. So it borders on knowing that for the artist, your inspiration, your muse is your surroundings, those things. And of course, sometimes your imaginations too can run wild, and then you get one or two things from there. So, about consistency as well, because yes, for the artist, like I said in the plenary session, for the artist wants his art to be seen. A performer is performing because he wants to express the art that is within him. But at the same time, there must be people to see, to appreciate that art, to enjoy that talent and that craft. So the people must, they just must be there. So the artist has to be consistent. And that's why I say, without that passion, consistency will be very hard. It will be very, very hard. I enjoy performing every day of my life. Call me to a set, give me the script. Let me know what I want to do. I let myself out because I'm a performer. I always want to perform. That is the passion for me. It might interest you to know, even when I started out, I wasn't even thinking money. You know, of course, we all need money to survive. And you know that at some point in your life, responsibilities, you know, to take care of things. But the passion was just, I was stuck in that passion. I said, look, this acting thing, this performance thing, I just want to always express, I just want to express myself. So passion for consistency, passion is very important. And guess what? Once you begin to attain the heights that you're looking towards attaining, you need that consistency. So before the consistency, you need the passion. After the passion, you need the consistency to remain and, you know, continue to grow in your selected field. So because you and so you said I keep releasing content, and when there's something, when a societal issue happens or whatever it is, I'm shooting it. Yeah, that's because I need to be consistent. So the same video that you have seen day before yesterday is not the same one I'm going to present to you tomorrow. That will be absurd, to say the least. So my teacher, Professor Ahmed Yerima, used to say that, and everyone says it any which ways, but the way he interprets it to me, he will tell you that the world is moving every blessed day. So we must continue to move along with the world. You understand? So because there's a great risk staying where you are. So I always say that even if you have not attained those heights, or it doesn't even look like you are beginning to attain it, you must continue to move along, because that day it will happen. You never can tell.
Yeah. You know, there's one saying I've heard, you know, move, you are not a tree. You know, so change, change must continue to happen. And if I can just also draw, because I want this you know, breakout session to be a bit more about the how of it, you know, because a lot of people would still look at, you know, social media figures and influencers as, okay, how exactly are they even, how are they doing it? So I want us to be also be practical, you know. So I would like to, I will still come back to you, but I'm very much interested in like a day in your life, you know, and how you sort of bring on people on set, you know, like on an average, you know, how much do you spend to, you know, how much do you spend to bring us those quality content? But before that, I'll go to Ife real quick and also just ask her this. Your community is amazing, right? And I would say that it's a use case for when people say, oh, people don't read captions, people don't want to respond. What is your secret sauce? What is your secret sauce? Because the Dan community, right? You know, you just put up something thought-provoking and then people are giving their 2Ps, they're writing, you know, first of all, your caption is already like an epistle. And then, you know, the brilliant people within the community are now, yeah. So, and I know that it's important to have a community to grow. You know, once they feel like they belong to a community, you know, you can always introduce. I'm sure you probably, well, I mean, you can answer this, but did you think about starting off Dang Lifestyle when you started the Dang community?
No,
you know,
no.
Exactly. So just what exactly is your secret sauce? How do you get people to engage on your page? You know, are there any special skills we need to learn?
I've been asked this question all the time. Like everybody keeps asking me. And I feel like when I first time people say, people don't read, you're writing too much. And I tell them they will read what I write. Because when, like I said, when you hear all these things, it just restricts you. It stops you from fully functioning as a human. You know, your wholeness and everything is being shrunk because you're listening to what people are saying. Some people say, if people will not read all these things. You know why I knew people would read? Because I would write like I'm speaking to my friends. I never write at people. I'm talking to my friend. So I imagine when my friends and I had a group chat where when I travel or have an experience, I would write it the way I write it on Diary of a Niger Girl, just that way. So I realized that to transfer and make people feel like we are all in this experience together, address them as friends, not as subjects or people lower that. I mean, you don't even know the people in your community. Why treat them as though they are lower in any way? So what I did was, I remember what we were planning. I had to learn storytelling, how to capture audience virtually. I did learn that. I did read up a lot on that because it was important to me that people listened to what I was saying and people read what I was saying. So I went to read. So it's not like I'm one of the things that I do in my sleep and I can do well is write. But I realized that writing, it cannot be enough. There must be a structure and a technique to it, whereby people will follow through with your story and then want to engage in it. So that's what I did. I learned it. I read up on it, on how to do that. And that happened. Then when I began to see, I now began to read into people's comments to see the questions they were asking me. Like, so what now happened or something. In my next write-up, I would answer those questions to give more engagement for that post, right? So sometimes I never allow a post to finish at one post. I do like a continuation because people have so much to say. People have a lot on their minds. We cannot capture it in one post. So if a particular topic, I see that it's on people's mind to discuss and there are branches to that topic, I just move on and put it in another post. So like I said, first what thing I do, I talk as if I'm talking to my friends. There is no air. There is no need to have an air around you. It is, you're talking to people who are experienced. There's no experience in this life that is peculiar to you alone. People experience the same things. We experience heartbreak together. We experience divorce together. We experience bad business decisions together. We experience brain block together. We experience not feeling pretty together at some point. We experience lack of sleep. We experience eating too much together. There's so much that we all experience together that you don't write as though only those people are experiencing it and you're perfect. That is what I took out from my learning process before I started Diary of a Niger Girl, is all experiences are shared. For this reason, I don't tell you to say, you, neighbor, if you want your life to be better, you better stop sleeping too much. No, what I say is, guys, I slept yesterday. Oh my God, and I forgot to write that story I wanted to write, or I forgot to write that plan because I slept too much. Do you know, this is how I learned how not to sleep too much, or this is how I learned to structure my timing. So I'm speaking to our problems and telling you my version of how I resolved it, hoping that you would also tell me your version of how you resolve that problem. All of us can come together and learn from each other. That is how we're able to get the engagement that we're getting right now.
And I really, really appreciate that perspective, because essentially you're saying that you have to be relatable. You don't have to be mechanical about it. Kind of like that thing you shared on your stories about breaking your fast late into the night or eating late at night. A lot of us can relate.
Yes.
A lot of us can relate. And even for me, starting Aspiring Faith Farm really was, based off of my own personal weight loss struggles and journey towards being, somebody that lives a healthy lifestyle. So, one of the ways in which we actually grew, was like me sharing, what I ate in the day, what kind of exercises I was doing, so a lot of people could relate. So I appreciate that feedback. But there's actually one quick thing I want to ask you. If you can share some of your learning resources from how you learned about the storytelling, the writing. I can come back to take that, but you can share that with us.
I will, but one book I would like people to look out for, generally, like I'm checking on my iBook so I can give you the correct, I listen to it every day. It's on my audiobooks because it's good. I didn't stop listening to it, but I'm trying to look for it here. You can go on. I'm sure you can ask me.
All right. Okay. So we'll come back to you. So, Mr. Macaroni, please tell us, a little bit about, a day in your life and how you compress because I imagine that it's a lot of hard work, for you to give us like a 5 to 10 minute skit. So just tell us a bit about that and maybe some funding sources as well.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing for my own content creation process, if you're going through my own content creation process, the very first process or the first step is the creation of the story in itself. And that's, for me, the most tedious of all. And I can say that because I'm always very intentional about my stories. I write all my stories myself. Of course, I'm open to it. The brand is getting bigger and bigger, by God's grace. And I'm open to having other creatives share ideas and, that we can work on together. And of course, now if it's about acting, we have a lot of young artists in the house that we are, doing our very best to also help actualize their own dreams as well. So for me, first step, the story in itself. Some days I just go, I will just drive out of my area. I could go very far. Driving around, I could just enter one relaxation spot or even a hotel, take 3 days, pay for 3 days. I need to leave my environment. I want to sit down and think and play around alone. Sometimes I want to drive to some areas where there are a lot of people and see how they are reacting, how they are talking to themselves and what they're doing. So the creation of the stories in itself is always work. And also, like I said, the society, our raw materials are from there. So maybe something happens and I feel in my consciousness, I need to address that particular situation. I also need to find how to marry that thing that has happened into my own content, into contents that people would be able to relate with, that my audience will be able to, okay. But at the end of the day, they understand the societal ill that we are trying to use our art to correct. Because my teacher, I always refer to my teacher, Professor Mediarima, because I'm proud to have gone under his tutelage. I think is one of the best things that has happened to me by God's grace. He taught me and he said that drama must inform, it must educate, it must entertain. Drama must be used to rejuvenate society. So that's why I'm all about using my particular art form, not only to entertain. You will laugh by God's grace. You will laugh, or at least you find the content interesting. If it doesn't interest you, you will find something to pick from that I want. So I'm intentional about the contents that I create. I'm trying to tell you something. I see something, I want to address it, and I want you to know that this is what I'm addressing. So after that, after creating the story, then of course, every other thing, we plan for a day to shoot. Sometimes I do a day or 2 days at stretch. Within that day or those 2 days, we do about 4 to 5 contents, depending on what, because I don't shoot, except the content is very technical or it requires this or then I can take a whole day to shoot one content. For instance, the content I did after my arrest at the toll gate, the second protest, that one, it took about a whole day to film that, you understand? So a lot of other contents like that, that we have, that we do. So, but generally, I take just a day, 2 days to do about 4 to 5 contents, because it's always good to shoot them. I like to shoot in bulk. So then I would now start to drop. I don't drop like every day. I drop contents maybe 2-3 days interval. We always try to drop new contents because left to the audience, they want you to be dropping contents every day, but it's not as easy as that. You also have to keep them wanting some more, you understand? So typical content creation process, that's for me in a day, that's it.
That's it, all right.
And of course, sorry, you asked about funding. Yes, funding. Yes. Well, my brand, by God's grace, if you come on our set, whatever role it is that you're playing, you must get paid. It is a brand principle, that I've put in place because I totally understand how it is, how it was for me when I was, going for auditions, when they just call me to come and play one role, or even sometimes I'll go to location, I'm in the location for about 3 to 4 days, then I'm leaving, they'll say, no money for you that are just starting. Don't worry now, when you become this, don't worry, they will pay you. So, and I've never understood why it had to be like that. And I strongly advocate against it. I believe that talents must be appreciated, because without those talents, without those ones that you say that, who are you, who know you, without those ones, what you're trying to do, the work of art that you're trying to bring to put together would never be possible. So I always advocate for that. So we spend a lot actually on producing content. We spend a lot. Figures I might not be able to give you, but trust me, we filmed, I was on set throughout yesterday. We spend a lot. We spend a lot on content.
Okay, so for young people, like a lot of young people on this forum, for instance, starting out, of course, a lot of them will probably, what are like the basic tools? And, the same question as well would go to if like kind of like a starter pack for starting your own social media influencing business, or of course you work with an end in mind, but what are like the basic tools that you would advise that a young person should have?
Me? Are you starting from me?
Yes, Eva can continue that, and then Ife can answer. I've been told we only have about 3 minutes to go, so you can please take that in 30 seconds.
Oh, great.
So
first for me, it has to be, what are you passionate about? So the problem now that I think when a lot of people talk to me, content creation, I want social media, I want to be known on social media, what do you have in mind? It's not just about the glitz and glamour of social media and you want to be a part of it. What's your passion? What are you passionate about? Without finding that thing, it might be very difficult to attain any height that you might have set out to attain. That passion has to be there. That, okay, this is what I love doing. This is what I want to, this is what I enjoy doing. So that when you start, before you get tired, it will be very difficult because it is what you love doing. So what you want to do, then a phone. A lot of people also, they say, who will shoot it for me? Who will do this for me? You put this there, or your phone. There are a lot of people, some people, like I said earlier, I do camera because, it's the culture. It's what I've been doing for years, But some people, some of the biggest content creators we have in this country use their phones. And they do it, and you see them, they play with the phone, and when the result comes out, it's very beautiful. So that you need your passion, you need the instrument, the physical instrument. If it's a phone, if it's a camera, fine, whichever one works. Then content is crude, content in itself. And of course, I have said, how do you get your content? Society. That's basic raw materials. That's it. So, but you need to know that content is crude, and that is what is going to keep the brand. Content, and more content. About what? What value you are passionate about. Okay. Value, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So Ife, out, the things you promised to share with us, the materials, and then your own curated starter pack for youth who would like to, start.
Okay, you guys, you should read Building a Story Brand. I highly, highly recommend it to you. That you sleep on it, read on it, listen to it, eat it. This is such an amazing book and so practical to all aspects of life. So Building a Story
Brand.
Yes, okay. By Donald Miller.
Okay.
Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Everybody should read it. It's really good.
All right. So your starter pack.
Yes, I feel like doing what you do for the purpose of creating value is very, very important. I believe also that when you don't have anything to say, don't say anything. If you are a content creator and you have a blocked, your what's it called, is blocked, you don't have anything in your head to create today, I believe you shouldn't force yourself to create. That is what brings you saying things that are out of turn. So it's not don't feel obligated to post every day, every second, every minute. Don't feel this need to be on social media every time. Sometimes little is much. When you say you've spoken your mind, you've created your content according to the value that you live by, and you don't have anything else to say for a day or two, don't say anything. Don't say anything. If you are part of the school of thought of, oh, I must post every day, then post other people's content. Give them their, mention them that this is the person who owns this content. But if you personally don't have anything to say at the time, you have, I don't know what, writer's block or whatever it is, don't put out anything for the sake of putting it out. That is my starter pack. I've always lived by that.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you so much, you guys. And I'll just add a little bit from my own experience as well. For me, I also love learning a lot. For the social media platforms that I joined, I've learned a lot from the Dan community. I've learned a lot from, several others. So I'm not afraid to follow anybody. So I follow people based on what they can share with me. And I recently started using TikTok. I know a lot of people, snort up their nose about TikTok. That place where they're always dancing and doing challenges, but I tell you, TikTok is like an amazing place where you can get content. There are like niched people there, that talk about content marketing, social media marketing, different resources that you can find as well that would help your business and that would also help you on your own job as well. So, you talked about if you probably had a content blog, for instance, you can just check online. I think there is a website called Follow the People. I can confirm on the chat, where you can just, check what people are in your niche, in your market are talking about, and then you can then tailor your future content to that as well. So it's a social listening tool where you can, just get ahead of your competition as well, or if you just want to overcome that block. So thank you very much. I think are there any final last word? Yes, follow the people. Follow the people, but I will just reconfirm in the chat box as well. I'll type it out. No, it's a website. It's a website. So you can just type the the subject that you're trying to write about, and then you see all the questions that have been curated, what people are asking about in your locality, so that you can tailor whatever they're asking. So if maybe in fitness, for instance, they're like, oh, where's the nearest gym near me? Or what's like the best weight gain products, or what's like the best weight loss products, and all of that. Yeah. So you guys, please stay on here. Our panel session is done now. And please don't go, and don't forget that you're still going to win recharge cards just before this ends. And don't forget to follow Mr. Macaroni on all social media platforms, and Ife Aguru, Diary of a Niger Girl, on all social media platforms, and myself as well, Aspiring Fit Farm, or at Shari on Twitter. Thank you so much, everyone. So please stay on. Thank you.
Thank you, Shari. Great work.
Thank you, Shari.
doesn't start with the what, but the why. Why you get up each morning, despite the challenges of days before, and still choose to win. Because your reason for winning is stronger than the temptation of giving up. Because the world wants to witness your success and be blessed by it. Our collective wins begin with the fulfillment and celebration of individual accomplishments. Winning is everything. Winning doesn't necessarily mean being first. It is the sense of fulfillment that comes from doing better than you've ever done before. Winning with rendering a helping hand, creating a wonderful and memorable experience while on a journey. It may be the first step to the beginning of a quantum leap. Sometimes, winning doesn't start with the what, but the why. Why you get up each morning, despite the challenges of days before, and still choose to win. Because your reason for winning is stronger than the temptation of giving up. Because the world wants to witness your success and be blessed by it. Our collective wins begin with the fulfillment and celebration of individual accomplishments. Winning is everything. Winning doesn't necessarily mean being first. It is the sense of fulfillment that comes with doing better than you've ever done before. Winning may be rendering a helping hand, creating a wonderful and memorable experience while on a journey. It may be the first step to the beginning of a quantum leap. Sometimes, winning doesn't start with the what, but the why. Why you get up each morning, despite the challenges of days before, and still choose to win. Because your reason for winning is stronger than the temptation of giving up. Because the world wants to witness your success and be blessed by it. Our collective wins begin with the fulfillment and celebration of individual accomplishments. Winning is everything. Winning.
So welcome back, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed your various breakout sessions. I know that I learned a lot in mine, so I hope that you'll be able to take everything that you've learned into practice. So I have a really exciting announcement for everybody here today, so that every single participant will be sent data on behalf of Stanbic IBTC Bank. So we know that data is expensive, so please look out for that notification after the event. So each and every single person here is going to get free data from Stanbic IBTC Bank. So let's do a virtual clap for Stanbic, yay, for that wonderful data that they have offered everyone. So what we're gonna do shortly is that we're going to actually announce the winners of the scavenger hunt that we did in the beginning. So if you remember properly, we asked you to look out for specific words in various videos. So it's time to essentially let you know who won. So it's cash prizes, data prizes, and much more. So if you just pay attention to your screen, you will see the names coming up very shortly. So I will leave that to the tech team to do. But I must say, this has been such an amazing event. I mean, just the learning about entrepreneurship and also just being able to learn directly from people's stories. I find that that's always the best way to learn. And then also being able to hear about some of the things that some of the challenges. Okay, well, here we go. So if you look on your screen, the scavenger hunt winners are displayed. So Yakubu Enoch, congratulations. Abisola Afolabi, congratulations. Fatima Yusuf, Victor Foloruncho, Henry Endurance, Yakunu Oluwatobi, Joshua Olayori, Nwaba Ukamaka, please excuse my pronunciation. I'm from Senegal, I'm not Nigerian, so please forgive me. Ife Jusu Olajide and Salisu Mohammed, who So these are the 10 winners of the scavenger hunt. So let's do a virtual clap for them as well. So Stanbic IBTC will reach out to you for you to essentially collect your winnings. So this is exciting. I love events that like inform people, but also give out prizes to people, because we all are winners and we all deserve to win things. So I'm super excited about that. Yes, so we've actually come to the end, unfortunately, of this event. So I would like to invite Mr. Wale Adeni, who will give the vote of thanks. So sir, over to you. Thank you.
Yes, I think, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed youth. And I think we are all winners today. And I think I'd like us to actually give ourselves a virtual clap, everyone, for the takings of today and for what we learned. So on behalf of everyone at Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. We are delighted that you joined us in this session, and our hope is that you had a number of takeouts from the specially tailored breakout session you chose. Our profound gratitude goes to the various panelists. I'd like to thank Lily. I'd like to thank Ife. I'd like to thank Yamo, Tracy, Olumide, Dele, Sherifat, and Debo for their support and willingness to accept sharing from their wealth of experience and inspire the younger generation. It is our vision as Stanbic IBTC to keep creating possibility for younger generation. And it's our continued commitment to help people achieve their career goals. And we hope that we have been able to ignite your entrepreneurial mind to achieve your greatest aspiration. Stanbic IBTC is the leading end-to-end financial services provider in Nigeria. We leverage on the latest technology to meet your personal and business financial needs. I implore you to visit our website and follow us on all the social media platforms to learn more about our bouquet of solutions. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining this event, and I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, and please give yourself a virtual clap once again. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And have a brilliant day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that closing address and your vote of thanks. It's been a pleasure being with you here today. And I think that we can close out. Again, my name is Lehle Balde, and it's been a pleasure being your moderator for today. And let's actually clap one more time for our wonderful speakers. You guys were amazing. Virtual clap for you all. Thank you for being so candid and honest with all your stories. And please remember to keep winning, because winning is the only thing that we should know how to do. So take care, guys. And until next time, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.